Alrighty. So we have worked our way through now all the primaries and all the caucuses happening. So then what happens is towards the end of the summer, both parties are going to have their own convention. I want you to think about the convention as a pep rally. Think about why we have a pep rally at this school, right? We want to get people excited, we want to get people to participate. You want them to rally around the team. So for months, we've had all this intra-party fighting. We've had this competition between all these different candidates. So the national convention theoretically is supposed to make everybody bury the hatchet and come together and say, look, this is the person we've chosen. We care about our party. We're going to advance our party. It doesn't always happen, okay? If it doesn't happen, the party's in some trouble. So they need to be really careful about what their tactics look like and how they campaign during that. They want to win, but they don't want to kill each other. They don't want to destroy each other in such a way. Now, again, 2016 was a little different, all right? But typically that doesn't happen. So I'm going to show you a clip of something that happens at convention because I just want you to see like how the delegates actually behave. It's pretty great. We won't watch the whole thing. So this is old. This is back from 2008. Maybe we're going to have some sound. Why does mine do this? Because someone muted it. That would be why.
According to the rules passed by this convention, following the nominating speeches for president, we proceed immediately to the roll call. The roll call shall continue until we have a nominee, whom I believe will be our next president. It is now my honor to begin with the great state of Alabama. Alabama, you have 60 votes. How do you cast them?
Thank you, Madam Secretary. The great state of Alabama, one of the most diverse delegations in this hall. A state that is ready to cast the first votes of this convention for the next President of the United States.
The great state of Alabama casts 48 votes for Barack Obama.
Madam Secretary, the great state of Alabama casts 5 votes for Senator Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Okay, we're going to go through every state like that. They're going to work through. And the territories do get to the territories get to send ballots as well. So like Puerto Rico and Guam, places like that. They don't get to vote for president, but they get to vote because this is a party competition. So they allow them to express their will in that way, okay? So it's going to go on, and then eventually we're going to have a nominee, right? And so there are, though, still some elements of elitism. So remember, we talked about 1968 before. You and I would not have gotten to go to that national convention. So 1972, who's going to be mad about all these changes? The elites. Like, I've given my blood, sweat, and tears. I've given my life. I've dedicated myself to this party. I've given them money. I've supported candidates. And now you're telling me that you're going to send these yahoos to the convention that have no idea what they're doing? So the Democrats retained some elements of elitism, okay? And we refer to that as Super-Delegates. Okay, so Super-Delegates. Super-Delegates are people who are guaranteed to get to go to the national convention for the Democrats. They are party loyal people. They are governors, state senators, people who have campaigned a lot. Bill Clinton is a super-delegate for the Democratic Party. Donna Brazile, who is a person who you may see on TV sometimes, and she ran Al Gore's campaign. So she's not a politician, but she's like a campaign professional. She's a super-delegate, okay? The Republicans also have something similar. It is called automatic delegate for the Republican Party. Those people get to go. They get to be there like in the pep rally. They're guaranteed to get to go, and they vote however they want. So the best description I've heard of a superdelegate is like the parents watching the kids. It's that we still have some people there who know what's going on. We have some people who understand the process, that are part of the party, and in a way it's kind of like their reward. It's their Super Bowl that they go to every 4 years, you know, and it's like honoring them that they get to go to this giant pep rally. Okay? Now technically, superdelegates could swing a vote. That vote in Alabama was not close. Barack Obama got a lot more delegates than Hillary Clinton did. But what if they were really close? What if you had like, you know, they had 60 delegates. What if you had like 30 and 30, or you had 35 and 25? Then the superdelegate votes might actually determine the outcome, which would be chaos and craziness. But that hasn't happened. But it could. So you never know. Okay. All right. So superdelegate, just so you could kind of see back in the 2008 election. So you would have suspected that the superdelegates would have chosen Hillary Clinton because she was a party person. She was like the known commodity. She had been around for a really long time. These are the only places that superdelegates voted for Senator Clinton, or Senator Clinton. All the purple voted for Senator Obama at the time. So anyway, the superdelegates ended up voting the way the popular vote went, but they didn't have to. Are we done on superdelegates? Okay, so let's be done with that part. Okay, so we are now done. We are at the end of the primary nomination season, and now we start general election season. You can refer to this as campaign season. The culture is going to change. We have the Republican candidate versus the Democratic candidate. Your ballots are going to look different now. Okay, so let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so here's an example. So you show up, and no longer do you have just one party. And they're going to start with the largest federal office all the way down to your smallest local office. So anything that in your precinct is up for election. So you've got presidential candidates. So during this election for this ballot, it was Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan versus Barack Obama and Joe Biden. And then you also have third-party candidates. Jill Stein has run multiple times. Gary Johnson has run before. So if you know, you've got like all of those people on there. They're going to put the person's party on there for you, so that if you don't know, like you're like, I don't really know who these people are, like I can't remember these names, if you choose to vote based on party, there will be an indicator there for you. In our state, so not all states, but some states do, the first question in Texas will be, do you want to vote straight party? You can do that for Republican and Democrat. If you do that, if you push Republican, that means every single office on that ballot that has a Republican will automatically get your vote. And then you don't have to go through your ballot. I don't do that. I like to go through the ballot. Like, I like to see what's on there. But you don't have to. It's totally up to you. You don't have to vote for every office. If you look at an office and you're like, I don't like any of these people, I don't know who they are, I don't want to make an uneducated vote, you can vote for what you want to vote for. It's entirely up to you. Okay? Does that make you feel better? I know some people are like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to vote based on name. Like truly, you do what you want. And then when you're done, you just push, like, there'll be a button it says, and it'll let you review your ballot, and then you're done. All right, how is the presidential list different than, say, the House of Representatives? What do you see that's different there? What, Jason?
Much longer.
Okay, it's longer. There are a lot of people on our ballot. That's true.
What's the Gurn and the Com?
Huh?
Oh wait. Oh.
Green. Those are, so that's the Constitution Party. That's the Green Party. They're independent. Let me make it bigger. Maybe y'all are. How is this voting for president different than voting for House of Representatives? Go ahead, Jason.
You vote for pairs of people at a time.
True. Because of the 12th Amendment, we vote for president and vice president as a unit. It wasn't like that before, but the 12th Amendment changed that, so that's true.
You can write in representatives?
It depends on your ballot.
Oh.
Like, this ballot does let you vote in for president as well.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Huh. Not what I'm looking for. If I vote for Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan, or I vote for Kermit Steck, what's the difference? How am I casting a ballot differently there?
Oh.
Stage.
Is it just because one?
Just go for it. Don't be afraid.
They're different parties.
True. Tiffany?
Is it like one you have more of a direct influence over, and then the other one you have kind of like an opinion for who votes for?
Why?
Because one is based on popular sentiment and one is based on the
you guys here, I'm not voting for Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. I'm voting for an elector to vote for Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan. Here, I'm voting for Kermit Steck. But here, you do not directly vote for president in our country. You vote for an elector who then maybe will vote for those people. Okay, so let's see how that works.
How are the electors chosen?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, how does the Electoral College work? I'm going to walk you guys through this a little bit, okay? All right, so we'll go back over here, and I'll just kind of draw it out for you a little bit. Okay, so, first of all, why the Electoral College? Go back to Framers' intent. Why would we have an Electoral College? Tiffany, you're on a roll. Why?
They didn't think that the people were, like, educated enough, or, like, the power shouldn't be in the people's, like, reach to vote for leader of the United States.
Perfect. This person could potentially be king-like. We don't want them to get into whims and passion and frenzy and make a bad choice. Number one reason. Number two, elections back then were in November, and we didn't inaugurate the president until March. You want the president, when they're inaugurated, you want to have the most up-to-date information as possible. Information did not travel in 1787 at the rate that it does today. So what if when people voted and then something happens so that you can make a better decision? So electors were supposed to be more wise, but they also were supposed to have the most up-to-date information when they actually go and cast their ballot. The framers, you guys experimented. They came up with all different kinds of ideas. What could we do? Well, we could let the state legislatures pick. We could have a committee. We could have a plural president. All of these ideas. For them, the Electoral College was the best way. Okay? And so here's what they did. They came up with this process, and they said, every state has X number of people in the House of Representatives, right, based on population. Every state has 2 people in the Senate. That is the number of electors that we're going to allocate to them. Okay? So, for example, in our state, we have 36 people in the House of Representatives. We have 2 senators. So Texas currently has 38 electoral votes. So the entire country, right, so the max number, we have 435 people, 35, in the House of Representatives. It's capped now. There's a law that changed that. So the House of Representatives will never get larger than 435, regardless of what happens to our population. Okay. There are 50 people in the Senate. No, 100. That made me look dumb. Okay, there's 100 people in the Senate because every state has 2. Washington, D.C. gets 3 electors because of the 23rd Amendment. Okay, which gives us a total of 538 people in the Electoral College. All you need is a simple majority to win the presidency. So your magic number is 270. You need to know that. So you get 270, that's it. Okay? Here's how we allocate this. Here's what we do. So let's go back to the election of 2016. So on our ballot, let's pretend that popular vote-wise that Donald Trump, let's say that Trump got, I don't really know. I'm just making this up, okay? Let's say that Trump got 45% of the popular vote in our state. And let's say that Clinton got 35%. And let's say that Gary Johnson got 20%. Okay? In Texas, like 47 other states, we do winner-take-all electors, which is just like delegates. So it's the same concept, but it's a different thing. So we have winner-take-all delegates for the National Convention, then we have winner-take-all electors. So Trump gets all 38.